Today I'm going to teach you how to do a smoky eye, but in particular for hooded eyes. If you don't know by now, a hooded eye just means that a good portion of your lid is covered up by this. And as we get a little bit older, gravity kicks in more and that hood can become a little bit more prominent. There's nothing wrong with it. It just means that we have to be a little bit more strategic about where we place our colors. Most of the time, it's just making sure everything is lifted a little bit higher up, keeping our eye looking open and creating the illusion of a higher crease. One of the most important steps when you have hooded eyes, in my opinion, regardless of whether you're doing a natural look or a bold look, is going to be shaping your brows. You can see here, just with having one side done and one side not, just how much more lifted this side is looking, a little bit fuller, everything's looking bigger, and it's also giving me more lid real estate to put my eyeshadow colors on. I do have a little bit of a bolder brow, so I love our Saint Brow Wax. I find that this just gives me a lot more hold compared to other products that I have used in the past. It's going to give a lot more definition to all those hairs that I have, and like I said, it's just going to kind of lock them in all day long. So I am just going through here really making sure I'm coating and brushing everything upwards. So I'm just working that wax all the way through, fluffing everything up. This is a hard wax, so you just need to activate it with like a stay spray or a little bit of water. 1 drop is all you need. You don't want it to be really liquidy. So I just brush everything up and then kind of tame it back down on the tail end there. I'm gonna do just a little bit of filling, not too much. I just like to kind of sharpen up that edge there, fill in the front a little bit more, and just do light flicks just to make this still look natural, but a little bit fuller and a little bit bolder, because I like a good bold brow. But if you want something a little bit more natural, you can go with a lighter color, or feel free to skip this step. The most important steps that we want to do when we have hooded eyes is prime our eyelids. So I'm just using my brightening highlight here to prime that. It's going to help even out the base. It's also going to help prevent the creasing. And then we need to set that with some kind of a powder. This is just our vanilla dust. Again, works great. It's already in your compact. And this is just going to help lock everything in, and it'll help those colors blend a lot better too, because they are going to be sitting on the powder and not sitting directly on your skin. Now that we have that ready, we are going to put our first color down. So this is Zion. It's kind of a nice rust color, and I'm starting off right on this outer corner, right under where the highest part of my arch is. Get most of that color off of there, and you can see that I'm doing this with my eye open because I want that color to be seen above where my natural crease would be. So I get most of the pigment off, and then we windshield wiper back and forth to blend this out. I am adding it onto my lid as well too, and then just kind of like up into that brow bone. So just doing swirls, kind of moving this all around. When we have hooded eyes, we want to make sure we keep within this frame. So the edge of our nose to the edge of our eye and up kind of our eyebrow. We don't really want to dip too much lower than that. It's going to make our eye look more droopy. So we're really trying to concentrate that color towards the inner part and not go below there. If we do, totally fine. We can do some cleanup, but just try our best to keep within those lines. Because this is a smokier look, we are going to go in with a second dose of that color just to really build it up in the crease here, because we want everything to kind of transition and build up. So I do want to have that nice deeper base to begin with. Before we go in with that deeper color, we're going to take a kind of flat brush. I have the multitasker here and that brightening highlight again, and we are going to just prep the lid for taking that darker shade. So we're doing it all over our lid here. Keep your eye open, again, if you got hooded eyes like me, because we want to tap just ever so slightly above where that hood is, because we're going to want that darker color to be seen. So we're creating the illusion that our crease is a little bit higher than it naturally is. Okay, now that we have that done, I'm going to pick up Revival. It's kind of this mauvey brown color with the fluffy side of the eyeshadow brush first, and we are going to tap this color down right where we put that brightening highlight. So this is just going to be our first base of this deeper shade, and I know it looks scary, guys, but it's a trust the process kind of a look. Okay, and then we just are going to kind of blend that out and up a little bit more to diffuse everything. So with these deeper colors, the best tip is to continue to blend. That's what's going to give us that nice smoky look here. So we're just kind of blending it up into Zion and then doing a little bit of a flick out to kind of create that illusion of the lift over here. So we're just going to continue to blend and flick, okay? Now we've put that first base of the dark color down, we're flipping over to the denser side, and we're really gonna build up that pigment. I'm concentrating this part kind of to the upper crease area in there, so I'm gonna get that really nice deep pigment. See what I mean with the hooded eyes? It just sucks it right in. So keeping your eye open again, just to kind of get that a bit above, and then fluffy side to blend it out so we don't have any harsh lines, but just building up that pigment to get that really nice deep smoky color, and then bringing that color also under our eye, just about halfway through. We don't want to go all the way under because we don't want to completely close off our eye, but we do want that smoky, we want that depth, so we're just adding that deeper revival color under here as well too. And then continue to blend. That is the biggest key. Blendy, 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 okay? Get it nice and smooth. Now that we have that as the base, we are going to amp it up. We're going in with the small side of the multitasker with this dark black. This is Salem, and we are just going to kind of add this to the outer corner, almost like in a triangle. So a little bit under the lash line here, and then up into here. We're almost creating like a fake wing. So I like to do this with my eye open again because I want to be able to see where I'm putting this color. Working it up a little bit to create that fake wing and a little bit onto the inner third. So I'm not bringing this all the way across. It's just that kind of, or outer third, and keeping it in here. And we're not winging all the way up, just kind of keeping it more concentrated, like a little triangle on here. Now we are going to blend that out. I'm taking the small side of the bright brush. This is the same brush that I used for putting down my primer on my eye and the setting powder, and I'm just using that small end to blend this all out. So I'm just diffusing that line so it's not so harsh. Same with under our eye here, again, bringing that down, giving that really nice smoky look. And this is going to be, again, the key is just patience and blending. When we are dealing with these darker colors, we don't want the harsh lines for a smoky look. So it's just going to be taking this time and blending everything out. This is why I do like to take it in sort of stages and build up the color. So I go in a little bit lighter and then continually build. I find that just a little bit easier than going in with really stark, harsh lines and trying to blend those out. And then use that brush cleaning tile in between to help clean off some excess from your brush. We're just going to continue to build this up. So I'm just kind of making that triangle a little bit bigger. Again, this is going to be kind of more so based on your own preference of how big you want to go. And then you can flip over onto that bright brush on the other side as well too, and just kind of diffuse this out, or your eyeshadow brush is really great for this as well too. But just that kind of fluffier end to really kind of help diffuse the color that you've put down. The more concentrated the bristles are, the denser the look is going to be, and then the fluffier bristles that you use are really going to help diffuse any extra pigment that's in there. But just doing this and really making sure I am working this up, and even bringing a little bit into that crease color a little bit more. And I like to take that eyeshadow brush and go back into that very first base color we put, Zion, and just clean everything up again. One last sweep over the top. It's just going to help make everything look nice and cohesive. So because we have smoked everything out, there might be some fallout. Maybe you dipped a little bit lower. I'm just taking that bright brush with my brightening highlight, and I'm just going to kind of do a light sweep underneath. Not super tight, because the whole point of a smoky look is to look more diffused and natural. We don't want it to look super harsh and crisp, but I also don't want to have any of that darker fallout under there. So just a little bit of cleanup. Okay, you want to finish it all up with a little bit of mascara. Don't skip those bottom lashes. We definitely want that to help make our eyes look a little bit more open. And then your favorite mascara on your top as well too, or if you really want to go bolder, you could throw on some false lashes at this point and really amp up the look. And there we go, a nice smoky, bold eye. Even though we have hoods, it can still look beautiful. You could totally do this with pinks or purples as well too. This particular combo looks great with hazel eyes and is going to really make them pop.